Welcome to the Flippin' Hippos reseller channel. I'm Star. If you're new here, you haven't already, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It helps us feed our hungry hippos. Today is Wednesday, June 4th. Because it's a Wednesday, that means it's time for Midweek Motivation. This is a video every week where I give you a pep talk while you watch me work, and hopefully you brought some work with you so you can listen and work at the same time, so everyone is getting things done. Today is going to be kind of a tough love talk. I want to get a little real here with you for a second. A lot of you are stuck. And maybe some of you that are listening aren't stuck, but I'm sure that most of you are. And I say that with confidence because I know the kinds of messages I get. I know what my emails look like. I know what people are saying in the Facebook groups and on the Instagram and everywhere else that resellers get together and talk. A lot of resellers are stuck because they are unwilling to change or listen to others or continue learning. And I have news for you. None of us know everything. Not one single reseller knows everything or is perfect or always does things right. And that is why community is important. I talk about community on here all the time, about finding other resellers to gather with, whether it's on Zoom calls, listing parties if you have List Perfectly, Instagram, Facebook groups. It's always important, or in-person events even, to be around other resellers and hear how other people do things, but also be willing to listen to how other people do things and be willing to try new things for yourself. This goes for all aspects of this business. You might overhear a reseller talking about the spreadsheets they use for their accounting, or how they set up their inventory management, or how they go thrifting. There's just so much to this business, and everyone does things so differently that it's always good to hear other points of view, but not to be closed off. I do see a lot of resellers who have that attitude of either they know, not know everything, but they know best. They've been doing this so long that they don't want to listen to anyone else or try anything new. If someone else is successful and they're doing something different than you, maybe you want to try that new thing. Maybe you want to listen a little bit. So today we're going to get maybe a little uncomfortable because I'm going to talk to you realistically about being stuck, being stubborn, not willing to change, not willing to try new things. The platforms are not broken. The economy is kind of seesawing, I guess, but the platforms aren't broken. The algorithm does not hate you personally. eBay does not throttle sellers. I'm sure we've all heard that myth. The buyers don't hate you. There's somebody out there for every item. Whether you sell vintage, antiques, clothes that are in fashion right now, or old grandma Alfred Dunner sweatshirts, there's a buyer for every single item. You're not stuck because you have the wrong items. You're stuck because you're unwilling to learn or pivot how you're doing things. If you're doing the same things that you've always done, same photos, same titles, same strategies, same categories, same items, same niche, and you are doing as well as you have always done, that's great. Now take on a new niche and do even better. Like, you should never become stagnant. Even if what you're doing is working, add more, add another platform, add another type of item, add another stream of income. But if you notice that your sales are slowing down a little bit, which It's normal. The economy waxes and wanes. We're getting into summer slowdown. But when your sales slow down, you have to be willing to look at yourself and what you're doing and pivot and change a little bit. You can't just always say, well, this used to work and I don't have time to learn anything new. And this new tool isn't for me. And I don't like that platform. And I don't want to cross post. I don't want to start filming for Instagram. I don't want to rethink my pricing. I don't want to learn a whole brand new niche. Well, then you're going to stay stagnant and you're going to stay stuck forever and you will never grow and you will never get better. Even if, I'm going to repeat this again, even if everything you're doing is working for you and you are paying your bills, you should still never stop learning and you should still never stop growing. I'm not saying you have to grow your business to warehouse level with employees. You get to a certain point where you're comfortable and you maintain, yes, you maintain your volume, but you can still always be learning and always be changing and adding new things. Becoming stagnant is probably the worst thing a reseller can do. Don't close off your mind. You should always be learning. Learn the new tool. Check out AI. Check out a different platform. And if you ever say you don't have time to learn something new, you are saying that your business is not valuable to you. I personally, and I've said this before, I don't believe actually in the expression, I don't have time, because we all have time for things that matter. We all have time for things that are important. We make time for our priorities. When you're saying you don't have time for something, what you're really saying is this thing I don't have time for is not a priority to me, so I'm not willing to make the time for it. Think about it this way. If you say, I don't have time to watch a lot of TV, and you rephrase it to, watching a lot of TV is not a priority for me, that sounds pretty good. That means you're busy and you don't have time for TV. I don't have time to learn new tools that are going to increase my profits. Increasing my profits for my business is not a priority for me. You see how awful that one sounds with that turn of phrase? You should always have time for your business. It is a priority. Being a business owner doesn't mean you're always going to be an expert. It means being a student forever, for the rest of your life. And sometimes you'll be a teacher. And we're going to come back to community right here. That's why it's important to be a part of the reselling community and have your friends and your other resellers, your coworkers, and whatever atmosphere you like. Some people like the Facebook groups. Some people like being on Instagram. Some people like making the reels. Some people like watching the reels. Some people like real life events. But it's important that at whatever level you're comfortable socializing at, that you're socializing with other resellers. Because sometimes you're going to be the student and you're going to learn. And sometimes people are going to come to you and you're going to be the teacher and they're going to say, how do I do this? Or how do you do this? Can I see? Can I hear? Can you show me? Can we talk about it? You're always going to be learning and you're always going to be teaching. I feel like being in the reselling community is like this big university where we're all constantly in a classroom learning and teaching at the same time. Because none of us know everything. None of us are perfect. And you're always, if you are willing, if you're open to it, which you should be, which is what this whole video is about today, you should always be willing to listen to people. I've had the same inventory system for 8 years and it works for me. And I've seen how other folks do theirs. It's very similar to ours, in fact. And I haven't seen one yet that I think would be more efficient than mine, but there will come a day, I guarantee you, someone's going to say, hey, have you tried this? And I'm going to be like, huh, and I might change mine. I have changed the way I do a lot of things, and I have showed other people how to do things the way I do them. It's so super important that you just don't close yourself off. Don't close yourself off from the community, but also don't just get your blinders on and think that you're doing everything so perfectly right that there's no room for improvement or change. And don't become stagnant. That's the worst thing you can do. Being a reseller doesn't mean you're always going to be an expert. You'll be an expert in some things at some points, at some times. But sometimes you need to just sit back and listen and learn too. You have to be willing. And think about all the times the platforms have changed their policies, the post offices changed their shipping. Things happen. And when you have this mindset of I'm always willing to pivot, learn, adapt, change, you're going to be better off. When the summer slowdown happens and you have a plan in action, you'll be better off. When, I don't know, when trends change, when popularity waxes and wanes on certain items, that's okay because you'll have other ones available as well. So try the new tool. Hang out with other resellers and listen. Watch a tutorial. Ask questions. Be willing to test and try new things. Because the resellers who grow, who make the most profits, who have the most success, aren't always the smartest. They're the most adaptable. Don't let stubbornness cost you success. The reselling world is going to move on with or without you. So you have to decide, are you going to cling to the past and do things the way you always have? Or are you looking ahead to building your future and learning new things every day? Staying stuck, staying stagnant is a choice. But you know what else is a choice? Leveling up and growing and learning. Go be productive. Go make some money. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.